few weeks back, we did our video on the 7 lies we tell about motorcycles, and it seemed to do quite well. Looks like you guys had even more lies we tell about bikes, and so I thought it would be fun to make a video with 7 more lies that we tell about motorcycles for your viewing pleasure. Hello, my gentle, soft, wonderful squids. Welcome back to your daily dose of Papa Yam, powered by the hot tears of Jorge Lorenzo fans. All jokes aside, I'm glad you're here. You're in for a treat because today's video is going to be a good one. So make sure you've got a little snacky poo for yourself, sit back and relax, and let the dulcet tones of your sweet Papa Yam guide you into the rider I know you can be. Let's check out these lies that motorcyclists tell. Number 1, I definitely pulled 186 miles per hour on my R6 last night. The first lie you're likely to hear is the 600cc sport bike rider claiming a top speed over 160 something-ish miles per hour. No. Here's why. Sport bikes especially have terrible speedometers. It's because the ECE allows speedometers to be up to 10% off, which they mostly are. The you guys talking smack about their little 600s going over 160, I get it, bro. You saw your gauge at 186 and you got super stoked. What's 10% of 186? 18.6 if my calculations are correct. So 186 minus 18.6, that's only 167.4 miles per hour. That's still a tad high though. Confirm your speeds with GPS and get a speedometer calibrator such as the Speedo Healer or other devices, and then come back and tell me you were doing 165 on your 600cc. Factors such as the bike's aerodynamics, weight, transmission gearing, engine power output, and rider weight all affect the motorcycle's top speed. 600cc bikes seem to be a tad faster than those of the early 2000s, but they don't have leader bike top speeds and will never reach anything like 186 miles per hour. Most leader bikes hit triple digits in first gear or come very close to it. 600s are just not capable of breaking those same types of speeds. The second lie we're going to look at is, bro, I would die on one of those things. I can't control myself. One of the biggest lies I hear from people all the time is, I'd die on one of those motorcycles. It drives me nuts. Nothing is worse than saying you're incapable of doing something you've never even tried. If you're absolutely new to motorcycles, the main thing we use to control our speed and acceleration is called the throttle. People who can't control themselves are just copping out. Seriously, I'm willing to bet if you took an entire MSF course and then put them on leader bikes without telling them, they'd make it through the course alive because they would have throttle control and wouldn't dog their bikes. Smooth applications of the throttle and staying away from wide open is how anyone controls a motorcycle. Students would only be using enough throttle to get to 25 miles per hour and be shifting into second gear. Also, I think it speaks to your ego to think that you would jump on a bike and the first thing you would do is just hit 150 miles per hour. You'd probably be too scared to even go 40 or 50 on your very first go around. At the end of the course, you could do a grand reveal showing the students what Rossi can do on the same bike they just learned on. The students wouldn't know to fear the 1000cc engine displacement and would simply learn to ride. For the bro at the gas station saying he wishes he could have had a bike and he almost bought one, or he has an Ninja 250 instead of an R1 because he can't control himself, that's on him. For the rest of us, we have throttle control and a twist of the wrist. Number 3, cops can't catch me on radar, bro. The bike is too small. If you lived in the 1940s when radar was in fact unable to detect smaller objects, people might believe you. With today's technology, law enforcement radar is able to detect a bicycle at speeds slightly faster than a person walking. They're definitely going to be able to catch your ZX-10 going 150 miles per hour, no problem. If they can see you or they think they can see you and they can point the radar at you, they will detect your speed. They'll ticket the car next to me is actually a follow-up lie because most law enforcement have laser devices as well called LiDAR, which are capable of honing on even smaller targets. Most officers are trained to target specific parts of a car such as the front license plate, bumper, or grille. The silhouette of a motorcycle is big enough for both radar and laser. With police units phasing out radar for LiDAR, the odds of trying to go against a radar become even slimmer and slimmer. There's literally no chance to go against a LiDAR gun because the police can pick you out in a group of squids and record your speed. Now, as a quick break, it's a word from our sponsor today, and it's me. Do you know how much time and work goes into these videos? The least you could do is subscribe and share them with a friend. If you want to support what we do here even more, and it is a we project, we've got editors and researchers and all kinds of cool things, then I've got a treat for you because I'm a loving and giving soul. I've got a Yamaha R3 and Suzuki SV650 up for grabs, and you could show me some support by clicking those links below and finding out how you can enter to win these bikes for free. Again, it's a Yamaha R3 and Suzuki SV650 being given away completely for free. So click those links, check it out, but let's keep on rolling. The fourth lie you're likely to hear is, I sprung for my dream bike as my first bike because I want to grow into it. If you've ever heard someone say this, well, they might just be downright crazy or delusional. You might be able to get away with having your dream car as your first car and then not messing it up. I get it, but cars are easier to control than motorcycles. Having your dream bike as your first bike to grow into is a lie. The first stage is denial. It's the idea that you're not going to drop it, wreck it, or even get hit by someone else on it. You can get easily used to it and will be an expert on your bike in no time. It just feels right. The second stage is overconfidence. I sat on a couple R1s at a dealership. I can totally handle a liter bike after the MSF. No, the reality is that you need experience to get the bike of your dreams. If I have to relate it to dating in a weird way, you need to be heartbroken by all of your exes to be better for your forever, if you catch my feels. The same with the bike. Get experience from something under a liter bike. For the majority, that's the 250 to 500 class bikes, then go after the bike you really want. The third stage is reality. Get on a friend's 250cc bike and drop it. Must be a good friend. Try the MSF course and see how easy it was for you to drop the bike after stalling. If you're stubborn and actually bought your dream bike, how has it been owning it? I personally know that going down on a motorcycle is inevitable, especially if you're doing any kind of off-road riding. Ask me how I know. As an experienced rider, I know it's going to happen. I just don't know when and on which bike. When you start with your dream bike and you try to grow into it, those growing pains and learning curves is what will damage the bike the most. I haven't even touched base on how fast your dream probably is and how it might scare you out of motorcycling in general. You can actually find a lot of low mileage liter bikes on sale, all from people who thought they could handle it but quit while they were ahead. I'm looking at you, Ducati owners. Don't worry, I can say it because I own a Ducati too. The fifth lie we hear is backroads are safer than the highway. Another lie we tell about motorcycling is that backroads are safer than the highway. This is true only if you don't have a license and are riding dirty from a legal standpoint. For the rest of us, the highway is actually safer from both a legal and physical stance. The backroads consist of more unpredictability than a hurricane's path. Cars backing out, blind turns, roadkill, crossing wildlife, and other environmental factors, the backroads become a risk to ride. For the urban area, backroads having traffic involved in other directions, such as oncoming or turnings, increases the risk for bikes. When you review crash data, including cars colliding with motorcycles, most accidents occurred on urban roadways and not on interstates or highways. So what makes a highway safe? Well, for all you squid missile loving baby yams out there, highways were designed for travel at higher speeds. With this in mind, maintenance for the most part is kept up on the busiest of highways, and riding is normally more smooth. Turns are banked, especially off ramps, and roads are straight for the most part. You can see the road ahead and adjust accordingly. Another huge factor for the safety found on highways is that traffic goes in the same direction. It's all very minimal stops. Merges and exits are on the same side, and these pinch points can be avoided. It's possible to get in the left lane of the highway and not change lanes nor stop for hundreds of miles. This is how riding the highway is safer. Don't park it in the left lane though. For back roads, you can literally get hit on the intersection nearest your house because some idiot decided to text and drive and then blew a stop sign. Distractions and direction changes in traffic are some of the most dangerous factors to bikers. Highway riding rarely exposes a motorcyclist to rearward danger, and most of the focus is on those from sides of changing lanes without looking. The next lie we'll look at is my new tires are so slippery, I gotta break them in. Now this one could be up for debate, but in my opinion it's not. It's whether your tires need to be broken in or if they're even slippery when you get them installed. It's not that they're uber slick and you need to ride on them for 200 miles to see their true potential, but just they need to go a little easy on them. Some manufacturers of a coat of mold release chemicals or installing shop could have left some installation lube on the tires. I think Yammie from Revzilla said it best when he described tire break-ins as a way to get to know each other. As a motorcyclist, you need to trust the rubber that you ride on because knowing its limits will allow you to ride harder. Finding the limits on your tires is the hard part, and extreme caution should be given to a new set of tires. Do you need to do a prescribed circuit, warm-up, cool-down, and everything in between on your new tires? Nah. Ride your bike like you normally do. Watch your lean angles for a few miles and then start pushing your comfort with the new tires. You don't want to be in a corner that your old set could handle but your new set can't. Just because you spent twice as much on new tires doesn't mean they're guaranteed to be better than your old set and vice versa. It's also much more down to rider's skill. Just ride on your tires and discover the limits they have. Leave the break-ins for the people who want to waste their rubber. Our next lie is earplugs are dangerous to ride with because you can't hear anything. Earplugs are great at doing two things. One, blocking out the loud noises, sharp noises, and noises that would damage your ears. And two, they actually still allow you to hear. The lie about earplugs being dangerous to ride with is exactly that. It's a lie. How does our military go into combat? I'll say half don't have time for the ear pro, but the other half might throw some in. No one at the gun range has difficulty hearing conversations of other people while sending rounds downrange. The ears are protected, but the normal sounds at reasonable volumes can still be heard. What's it like to ride without earplugs? You may not realize it, but the sound of the engine, the exhaust system, and most of all, the wind howling by your helmet is much more damaging than you'd expect. It's a drone of sound at times, but wearing earplugs will prevent your ears from being damaged, and you can enjoy riding for many years to come. It's normal to be able to hear people speak while wearing earplugs. Not being able to hear cars around you falls under the myth of loud pipes saves lives, which we have a whole video about. You will only hear what's in front of you. And I'll hit you with the bonus lie, and that's that many guys say that it's the last bike they're ever gonna own whenever talking about any bike. Everyone knows that the formula for calculating how many bikes you need is N+1, where N is the number of bikes you currently own. Well guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you liked and didn't like. Please remember to subscribe. We're at over 500,000 subscribers, so hunt down all your friends that are too lazy to smash the button for old Papa Yam. 1 million subscribers equals me on a Turbo Busa, so let's make it happen in time for it to be a Christmas present. I know that's a big stretch goal, but I've got a feeling we can make it happen. And of course, don't forget to check out our motorcycle giveaways. We got a brand new Yamaha R3 and Suzuki SV650 waiting to be given away. Hit the links below to learn how you can get entered to win and get started with those machines. Rumor has it that come October, we're gonna have 3, maybe even 4 new giveaway bikes. So check out how to get started in the links below because it's gonna be a good time. Thanks again for watching and tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Fact: Gennaro Pelliccia doesn't just appreciate a good cup of coffee, he's a professional coffee taster who works for England's Costa Coffee Company. His discerning tongue is so key to his job that he was able to insure it for a whopping £10 million, which is about $11 million, with Lloyd's of London. My tongue and my ability to perceive different aromas are very important to my work, Pelliccia says. The more you know. Goodbye.